Hey guys, how are you? Thank you so much for all coming today. First of all, I just want to say thanks. Here we go. I did this last year as well, and the last 12 months have been interesting, to say the least. Not only did we kick off ITP Australia, but my personal health has been a bit of a roller coaster, as we all know in this room can be a bit of fun. All you've got to do is just throw your arms in the air, scream as loud as you can and enjoy the ride, apparently. I can say that now because it was back then, right? But yeah, first of all, just want to say thanks so much. It's been a bit of work to get this going and happening, but considering the faces in the room today, not just these guys, but you guys as well, makes it all worthwhile. And God, I'm glad today's here. A little bit about ITP Australia. Personally, I'm a patient myself and was diagnosed 4 years ago. And without this guy here, ITP Australia would still be a bit of a dream and probably an idea. Today, we're going to be talking, getting some talks from some of, not just Australia's best, but world leaders in ITP. The reason why we've obviously held today's meeting again here in Australia, in Melbourne, is because these guys are actually in town. We originally discussed having this in a different state this year and possibly pushing it into September, being Rare Disease Month, but these guys decided to show up in July in Melbourne, so we just had to do it today and here and now. So thanks so much for these guys for joining us. Now, these guys will obviously be touching on a lot of information today with regards to ITP, or if you want to get your tongues around it, immune thrombocytopenia. And people look at me really weird when I say that, really weird now, quite quickly now. And it actually took me 6 months to learn how to say that. I used to sit in my car going, thrombocytopenia. And I'm sure we've all been there as well. So these guys will be talking about ITP. They'll also be talking about new developments in the area or with regards to ITP. Terry's actually going to be talking about pregnancy as well, and she's got a really cool presentation and that sort of stuff. We're also going to be joined later this afternoon by Spleen Australia. I know some of you have had splenectomies, some of you have not had splenectomies, some of you have it on the cards, some of you it's like a distant possibility or not even a thought. But I thought that today would be a good opportunity and a good forum to, have them come along, have a bit of a chat. Personally, I had my own splenectomy a couple of months ago. I think we're 3 months in now. So there's a lot of questions and there's a lot of information that everybody's after having a spleen removed, because it is an organ, it's not a small operation, as I found out. We're also having some breakout sessions. So one session in here and one session in the room down the hall, one on paediatric haematology, because obviously that was one of the things that came out of last year's talk, is that everything was based around adult ITP. We didn't really touch on a lot of information with regards to the paediatric side, and I think that's really important as well, because not just for us as patients, but parents with kids with ITP, it can be nerve-wracking, seeing your little one go through, what we go through as adults, and how they deal with it. And, I know personally as a parent, it would shake me to the core. So I applaud you guys on what you guys go through. Plus, we've also going to be talking on some clinical trials. So some past clinical trials and some of the results, as well as upcoming and current clinical trials as well, which will be a bit of information for everybody as well, because I know, again, there's not a lot of information out there on that particular topic. Then we'll go into a bit of a Q&A session in the afternoon as well with the speakers that are here as well. And then finish off. Just to give you a little bit of information with regards to about ITP Australia, managed by me, and me. Lucky enough, we've got Tracy up the back here today, also wearing the lovely ITP polo, who's actually a member of our board. Now, Tracy, not only having to put up with me in Melbourne for almost a week, is my best friend, but also has a number of autoimmune diseases as well, hence the reason why she's part of the board. So she understands, not necessarily from an ITP perspective, but from an autoimmune disease perspective, the scope of what we go through and blood tests and doctors and visits and all those sorts of fun things that we do. We're purely funded through a number of organisations, mainly pharmaceutical and donations and sponsorships. We are completely independent and impartial. We don't, spruik products or treatments, etc., with regards to the various pharmaceuticals. It is purely an impartial voice for patients and by patients. Because I do, on quite a number of occasions, come out and ask questions, I think, as well. One thing personally that I found when I was originally diagnosed, Australian-based information was really hard to find. The PDSA, been around for 20 years and is absolutely amazing, but their medical system is very different to what ours is. And, the findings and the specialists that we have here are very different as well. So I thought that it was time that we had our own platform to talk about the different treatments, the symptoms, and about ITP in general based here in Australia. And as you can see, we've got some world leaders that we work with on a very regular basis as well. So we also work with the PDSA on information sharing, as well as working with Mr. Robert Bird here, or Dr. Robert Bird, sorry about that, who's literally had to scroll through all of the copy on the website to make sure that it is factually correct, because we obviously want it to be accurate and informative. Few little flags, and I'm going to blow my own horn for a little bit. So we launched the website mid-July, so just under a year ago. We're also a part of the ITP Global Network now, which is great, which is also run through the PDSA, which is great. So there's connections with Argentina and France and New Zealand and obviously America and the UK. So we're part of that group, and we've actually got a meeting in a couple of weeks, which is exciting. I've seen over 1,600 people visit the website in the first 12 months, which is well beyond what I expected and what I anticipated. And that's purely through spruiking through the Facebook channel and social media channels. There's no advertising or anything like that just yet. We've directly assisted 50 patients, so we get a lot of people contacting us through the website saying, hey, what about this? Have you got a recommendation for a doctor? I don't know what to do here. What do I need to do? And that's when we put them in contact with the relevant people, the relevant parties, or give them the information that they need. In no way do we ever give out medical information that it's all general information. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to pretend that I'm a doctor. And we do put that out up front, but we're just there to help and to lend an ear and provide some assistance and a shoulder as well. And we have more than 500 followers across all of the social media and our website database, which is, again, just mind-blowing. I can't believe how many people we've got that have connected with us already within the first 12 months, which is exciting. Okay, so how do you guys get involved? So obviously today would not have been possible without fundraising and through social media and PayPal, and or purchase a ticket today, which is just amazing. But you can also connect on your social media to collect donations for ITP Australia as well, and I'm happy to show you guys how to do that. I actually tested it myself earlier last week, and somehow generated some money through people that I had connected with many on ago but hadn't heard from, and they gave me money, great, no problem, which will all go back through to the charity, which is, and it's all spent on events like this and on the website and promoting ITP Australia. You guys can organise your own local patient meetings as well. Just because I'm based in Brisbane doesn't mean everything is going to be centralised in Brisbane. I really want you guys to connect amongst yourselves as well. If there's anything that we can do to help connect you guys, bring you guys together, we're happy to publicise, promote, push, and those sorts of things as well. Feel free to let us know. We want this to be a community. We want this to be, a network of people banding together. I know that we've all got social media. There's the ITP for Aussies page, but I think that face-to-face connection is really important as well. There's only so much you can do like this. This is, the human connection is always really important. Volunteer skills. Now I'm going to, I effectively run the charity myself. Everything is sort of done in my spare time. I don't get paid, so I'm also a volunteer as well. But if you guys have got a skill that you think will be worthwhile, I'm not going to say no. Feel free to come on board and help us out, whether it's creating artwork, whether it's helping on the website, writing a story, anything, taking some photos, could be almost anything. But feel free to put your hand up, get in touch, because the more assistance that we can get, the more that we can do. And don't forget today to take some photos, because I'll be fangirling today with these guys. Not so much with you, because I get to see you all the time, but with these two. But yeah, follow us on Facebook, tag us, and follow us on Insta and tag us as well. So make sure you, and because that also will help get the word out about today, but also about about what we do as well, which is really important. Okay, what's next for ITP Australia? Well, luckily enough, in the next couple of weeks, I'll actually be heading to the PDSA conference in Washington in the States, which is really exciting. We'll be meeting as a group for the ITP Global Network, followed by the actual patient conference itself, which is very exciting. Wasn't actually planning on going until next year, but the carrot was dangled, so I just went, sure, no problem. So we'll be heading across there. We're also reviewing some more fundraising opportunities as well, so events and those sorts of things as well, which will be exciting. Again, if anyone has any ideas, feel free to come and share them and let me know. I am just one person and I do not pretend to know it all. Sometimes I do, but not so much about fundraising. On the website, we're also in the process of working on the recommended list of ITP medical professionals, because it is one of the big things that happens on a social media platform, is that, who can I see? Where are they? These are the locations. So with a lot of the help of Robert, but also from a lot of the Aussie haematologists, we're pulling that together. A glossary of terms, because I know that when I was first diagnosed, I had no idea what thrombocytopenia meant, let alone anything else. So we're actually building a glossary of terms, because the number of terms that get thrown at me on a weekly basis is mind-blowing. So if we can build that glossary and to at least shed a little bit of light, that would be fantastic. And we're also investigating a member portal as well, or possibly an app. I know that there are a number of apps available at the moment, but I personally, as a patient, I don't think they cut the mustard. So I think that we can probably do better, and we can have a bit of fun. Now, a little bit about the speakers that we've got today. We have the wonderful Dr. Robert Byrne, who's actually my haematologist in Brisbane. My journey the last 4 years would have been very different without this guy. So really happy that he was able to join us today. We also have haematologists extraordinaire over this side. Dr. David Kuda and Dr. Terry Gersheimer, both from the States, both affiliated with the PDSA in the States as well, and well-versed on ITP and pretty much everything, really. I'm just happy that they're in the room today, let alone anything else, which is exciting. We've also got Dr. Chris Barnes, who I know that you guys have got a couple of people in the room who know Dr. Barnes quite well with regards to their children having ITP as well. So he's going to be doing one of the breakout sessions with regards to paediatric haematology. And then we've got Dr. Phil Choi, who'll be joining us again later this afternoon, I think by the skin of his teeth, to talk to us with regards to clinical trials, new developments with regards to ITP. And then lastly, we'll have Penny Jones, who'll be joining us from Spleen Australia as well. So the run of today will be, we'll have these lovely doctors having a chat to us. Then we'll go, we've got lunch downstairs in the restaurant, full buffet lunch, and then we'll come back upstairs for a talk from Penny from Spleen Australia, and then head into the breakout sessions, and then a bit of a Q&A at the end, which is exciting. Now, shameless plug again, right to finish, because that's what I do. we are, as you can see, we are recording today, which is really exciting. Thank you so much to Sarah and Gareth from the VO Box for providing their assistance and their support for ITP Australia. Actually flying from Brisbane, so I have actually used these guys on a regular basis in my actual business as well. So these guys know how crazy I can get. So it was nice and easy to dangle the carrot to say, hey guys, come on, come to Melbourne for me, which is fantastic. And everybody in the room today that has joined us will receive a 25% discount on the purchase of those videos once it's packaged up and ready to go. So we'll be, hence the reason why I've got your email addresses. So I'll email you directly to let you know. The other thing is that there was a lot of interest expressed online with regards to the lovely polos. So we are actually in the process of designing a Warrior edition, as we've nicknamed them. So we will also be in touch with regards to those as well. So if you are interested, feel free to let us know when a rough size. So this is a small, but yeah, let us know if you're interested so I can look at quantities and start working on those sorts of things as well for you guys as well. Again, if there's any other merchandise that you guys think would be really cool, let me know. I am looking at lapel pins and those sorts of things at the moment as well, which I think would be pretty cool, pretty exciting. But anything to get the word out, right? So shameless plug. Okay. You've heard enough from me. A quick note is that the toilets are across from the lifts as you came in. So if you do need to duck out, feel free to duck out, whatever. We've obviously got the Nespresso coffee machine up the back. So if you need a caffeine hit, feel free to get up at any time. There's also tea back there and a lovely bowl of fruit. So feel free to grab something to eat and munch on and those sorts of things as well. Okay, enough from me again. Thank you so much for everybody for coming along, and I'm going to get Dr. Robert Bird up to talk to us about ITP. Wonderful, thank you.